I've always loved watching birds fly south for the winter. It's something I've always been fascinated by. Even as a little boy, I'd wake up in the early weeks of winter to the sound of the Canadian geese leaving their homeland in search of a warmer climate. It's something intrinsic to them. When the cold comes, they go. And in the past few years, I feel like that's been my experience. I've spent the last 3 winters in the southern hemisphere, and I've got to say that summer in the south is just different. There's something about it that I can't really explain, but that I just love. And beyond that, I've always loved traveling and the feeling it gives me. It's like I'm seeing the world again for the first time with new eyes. Everything is suddenly new and different. The sounds people make, the taste of food, the buildings, even the birds. It flips all your senses on their heads, and it makes you acutely aware of your surroundings. You pay more attention, you listen more, you enjoy things more. Even if it's someplace you've been before but haven't spent time in a while. Life feels fresh, the world feels more open, and it makes me feel like I can be anyone I want. I can only imagine the things I'm going to experience this summer. I can't wait for the start of the season. I can't wait to see who I'll be, what I learn, and the people I'll meet. Whenever I travel on a plane, I think about how crazy it is that we can fly through the air and travel at speeds unimaginable to our ancestors, who spent weeks or even months traveling on foot or in wagons. I decided to see Argentina again. I felt like I'd unfinished business in Buenos Aires. Taking the ferry, we arrived by boat. It's torrential downpouring and we had to shelter. We're trapped and I don't have a jacket and we don't have umbrellas. This guy is fogged. Oh my. I think we just need to go. Go! Ah! Oh my god. Guys, it got worse. We're having the worst luck. No Ubers will come to us, and we hopped in a taxi and he didn't take cash or card, only pesos.
Fuck yeah.
Essentially trapped here, we waited for our ride until it finally came. Then we arrived at our Airbnb and slept. The next morning, we started off bright and early. Very pretty. So we came to Cafe Tortoni in Buenos Aires, which is the oldest cafe in the city. It was founded in 1858, and it's so beautiful in here. We got coffee, my friends got some churros, and it's pretty good. We spent the next few hours walking around the city, seeing the sights, watching the people, and enjoying the heat. How does it feel to be looking at the prettiest bookstore in the world?
Holy shit, man.
It is very pretty.
Yeah.
My life has been pretty hectic recently. I was just working a full-time job and a part-time job, all while making these videos. It was a lot for me, honestly, but if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have been able to afford a trip like this. And I've come to realize that I need times for rest and relaxation, time to be with my friends, free time to walk the streets for hours just admiring the beauty of the city. And I know that I'm so privileged to be able to do things like this, but I'm so young, I kind of feel like these are the things that I should be doing. Traveling to one of the most beautiful cities in the world with my friends, sitting in a park for hours just eating cherries, getting stuck in the rain, indulging in delicious food. And I've come to realize that these are the times in my life I'll cherish and remember the most. We decided to take a tour of Palacio Barolo, an incredible architectural feat. Built with Dante's Divine Comedy in mind, this building stands 100 meters tall with a lighthouse built into the top. You can see the whole city. It's insane. Palacio Barolo offers some of the best views of Buenos Aires. The climb up is a little scary, but the view at the top is more than worth it. Whoa. Palacio Barolo is 100 meters tall, and it's definitely the best views of Buenos Aires. There's like 360 views, and at the top is a lighthouse, and you can see literally everything. The lighthouse is completely made of glass, as you can see in the video. It's so beautiful, and it's not that expensive. I think it was $15 for the tour, and it's very interesting. The tour guide was telling us all about the architecture and how they decided to build it, and why there's a lighthouse at the top of the building. And it's so pretty. There's not many views of Buenos Aires from this height, so I definitely recommend coming. So we just came from Palacio Barolo and now we are in a plaza in San Telmo. It's so pretty. We got some ice cream. It's so good. This plaza is my favorite. This is one of my favorite parts of town. It's beautiful and the streets just go for miles. And it's all square blocks, so it's really easy to just turn and keep going down and down and down and just get lost in the neighborhood. It's so beautiful. Walking around the San Telmo Feria, we enjoyed our final afternoon in Buenos Aires. I wish I could have showed you everything we did, but this would have been a very long video, so instead I'll show you a bit of the San Telmo Feria. Similar to Tristan Narvaja in Montevideo, the San Telmo market is a large open-air street market. There is so much to see, and you could honestly walk around for hours. I returned to Montevideo, but it sadly wasn't as grand a return as I hoped for. I just got back from Argentina yesterday, and I'm very sick, unfortunately. On the bright side, Argentina did win the World Cup, so congrats to them. So today is going to be a very fun day. I've just arrived in Punta del Este, and I said this in my Montevideo video, but the coastline of Uruguay is like a river mixed with ocean until Punta del Este, and then it becomes only ocean. So the coastline here is beautiful and the water is amazing. It's really warm, and today's a very hot day, so it's going to be very fun. The city is really interesting. It has a population of around 9,000 to 10,000 people throughout the year that live here full time. And then in the summer, the population jumps to over 200,000 people, which is insane. So people come here only for the summer months because it's so pretty. They have an airport here, and the airport pretty much only flies to Buenos Aires. And so there's a lot of people from Argentina that come here. A lot of famous people from the US have come here too. It's a very beautiful resort beach town, so very excited. And I've played with this idea before, of having periods in your life of rest and relaxation, and others for working and focusing, and I'm really trying to experiment more with that. So we have just came to a little beach town in the department called Rocha. The town is called La Pedrera. It's super small, and it's on this big hill, and so from every angle almost you can see the ocean. It's really beautiful, and over by the beach there's this huge like rock formation that's really cool. We're going there soon. We're gonna get some lunch first though. I just got an acai bowl. We're having a great afternoon. The water is beautiful, look. Wow. Ready for our beach day? Yes! So these are the rock formations I was talking about earlier in my video. There's a sign over there that says that these rock formations are half of a larger formation, and the other half is in Africa, and they were connected at one point, and then they split apart obviously when the continents split. It's really cool, and these rocks are crazy. I think the sign over there said that they're over 1 billion years old. It's so pretty. You can see that throughout the rocks there's all of these like chunks of marble. It's so cool. And the way that they look, it's insane. It looks like somebody just like sliced them all. And you can see over there, it looks like somebody just like threw rocks in the sand. It's so interesting the way that they are. So crazy pretty right here. Look at all of it. Working so much like I have the past few months just hasn't been good for me. It led to a lot of anxiety and stress. So I'm really trying to appreciate this free time I have right now. And it's really something I hope I'll be able to prioritize more in the future. And the worst thing about it is that if it weren't for that time of working, I wouldn't have been able to afford a trip like this. So it's something I need to continuously play with to try and balance work with relaxation. It'll be hard, but for now I'm just going to try and enjoy reading my book on the beach, going for a swim, looking at shells, eating too much food, and appreciating my life in this moment. Because for so many of us, we go through life rushing, never taking time for ourselves, never being financially able to enjoy the moment. And it makes me wonder if I'd grown up in a culture that prioritized vacation and time off, if I grew up in a country with mandatory vacation days, if I would have avoided a lot of the anxiety and stress that I've experienced because of having to work so much. But I guess there's no sense in focusing on things that are outside of our control. So instead I'm going to enjoy this warm summer's day in December, sitting on the beach, lying in the cool shade, listening to the sounds of the waves. This is what summer in the South has looked like for me so far.